Good afternoon. We are getting ready to make some cake pops. So go ahead and pull out your cooled cake pans. We are going to start off by washing our hands. We moved our station for Meals with Freels. We are enjoying our quarantine. Come wash your hands, Bryn. We've got Kellen and Ava and Bryn with us today. Our selfie stick. Come here. We have our selfie stick up higher today, so it's a little more difficult for us to read your comments, but we will try. You made ramen noodles. Well, now you can make dessert. You got it, Bryn? Here. Good job. Wash those hands.
It's hard to read the
In between your fingers. It is hard to read the comments.
Yeah, because it's so far.
Alrighty, down. Towel. You do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I dripped on you. Go ahead and wash those hands. Let's see who else is on here.
Dry off. I don't see anyone.
I know. We're going to have to figure out how to do this
I don't.
comment situation.
No, stand around.
Okay, so set out right now. We have 2 pans of cake that we made the other day. Frosting bowls and a cookie sheet
Are we gonna be
covered with, hey guys, Aunt Tiffany says hello.
Hi.
Oh no.
Oh no.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh, hang on. Scooch down. Gotta get everybody on the camera. Okay, we have 2 cake pans. We've got a cookie sheet with tin foil. We have 2 bowls and 2 types of frosting. We've got cream cheese frosting and we have chocolate fudge frosting. And then off to the side for the decorating, we've got coffee mugs and our melting chocolate. So we're gonna jump on in right now and we need to destroy this cake. This is the most fun part. You really can just go straight in there with your hands. Dump some chunks of cake in that bowl. Okay, go ahead and mush that up, guys, with your hands.
I don't want it to mush it with my hands. Can I have superpowers?
Oh, you do. Elsa's helping us. She's worried she's going to freeze all the cake with her superpowers. So maybe we'll give her, do you want a fork? Mush that up. So we made our cake Monday evening. We covered it in plastic wrap, so it's a little more
Will you
moist.
go get her a fork?
Yes, I will. But you want to just crumble it up. You want lots of cake crumbles.
Yep, cake crumbles. That's what you want.
Here you go, Bryn.
Just don't stand. Get that piece right there. Just crunch it.
If your cake, oh yeah, go for it, Eva.
The technique is go like this.
You put a chunk of cake in between your hands and rub your hands together like you're trying to start a fire with 2 sticks. Hello. If your cake is fresh out of the oven, sometimes the corners are a little tough and crunchy. If they don't mix in real well in the bowl, you can just set those off to the side. They still taste great. You can eat them, but you don't have to put them in your cake balls. Kellen, how's your cake doing?
Good.
Here's some more. Alrighty.
Oh, thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
We don't need that much.
Sure you do. Okay.
We need to do.
So you can do the entire cake at once. You can save some of the cake for later. You can frost the rest of it if you wanted normal cake, or you can go ahead and mush up your entire pan of cake. If you use a whole cake, box cake,
I made a mess.
we'll clean it up. If you use a whole cake, you're going to use about half a container or a jar of frosting. We're using store-bought cake and store-bought frosting because we're completely transforming them. So 1 cake needs about half a jar of frosting. The reason I say about half, and we can't have more precise measurements than that, is because Depending on the moisture content of your cake is going to dictate basically how much frosting you need. We are going to use some cream cheese frosting with our chocolate cake. And then we're going to use chocolate fudge frosting with Kellen's bowl of vanilla cake.
No.
You don't want this?
Yeah, that's what you had.
Yes, Bryn.
I want to eat it.
Can I have chocolate? Because that's my favorite.
Yes, Bryn's favorite is chocolate.
Same.
So I'm going to put a scoop in. He doesn't have a ton of cake in his bowl, so we're going to start out with probably about a third of a cup of frosting. You can measure it. Honestly, you're going to have to go ahead and eyeball it at the end anyway, so I'm going to start off by eyeballing it. So I've got some frosting and some cake. He's going to mix it up. You can start with a fork first.
And I got, lots of cake. Oh, that's hard to stir.
It is. Our frosting is cold, so if you've got a room temperature thing of frosting, it'll mix in easier. But we're going to have to chill the cake pops before we can cover them in chocolate anyway. So we're going to have to go back and forth to the refrigerator or the...
I need a spoon so I can get the chocolate.
The frosting out? Okay, I'll get you one. Go ahead, Ava.
You're not, are we eating the frosting?
Not yet.
Like, are we going to eat just frosting?
No, we're not going to eat just frosting. Mix this. Mix it in, guys.
Yep. It's kind of hard, right? It's going to be...
If it's not mixing in well with your fork, go ahead and dive in there with your hands.
Yeah.
Who's on today? Hello. I've got to find a clean finger so I can scroll through these comments. We've missed some. Watching from Kentucky. Hello, hello. Who else is making cake pops today?
I am.
Yes, we know that we are, guys.
Here it goes to it so I can put my hands in.
Yes, Bryn, go ahead and stick your hands in there and mix those cake pops up. We've already had a request from the parents that we make lots of extra cake pops, so this might be our first batch of many cake pops today.
I'm only going to put one because I don't want to put too many in there.
Oh, yes. Ava, how are we doing?
It's still... Wait, Brent, get your finger out.
Okay, so you can't really see it too well. You want it almost the consistency of Play-Doh. So as you're mixing it in and kneading in all of the frosting and cake mixture, it's going to form like a thick paste.
Mine's not going too well.
I'm going to
Mix it with your hands. Go ahead. So we're going to keep their bowl a little bit separate from ours because they're taste testing along the way, which is totally fine. If you are making this with kids, it's kid friendly. You just are going to have some cleanup to do. Emma, you're making it again. You are like my #1 Meals with Freels supporter, so I'm going to have to make you a t-shirt or something because you've been making all of this stuff with us.
Good job. Cut it like
Michaela, you're making cake pops? I thought your mom said she didn't get anything for you. I'm excited for you. Okay, so out of Ava's bowl, we've got enough frosting in there to basically be able to make a big lump or a big ball. This is the consistency you want. If it's still crumbling, then you don't have enough frosting. So you're going to put in a little bit more to get to this point. Ooh, Taylor, you too? Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and lick your spoon. So once your ball, your giant clump is the right consistency, you want to go ahead and grab some and you're going to roll it into whatever size cake ball you're going to want. Okay? So traditional cake pops, you would get a popsicle stick, a sucker stick and stick it in the end of the ball. Shh. You're going to stick it in there, but then you eat the cake right off of it pretty quickly, so I don't like to waste all those sucker sticks. They look cool. If maybe you were making them for a big party, you would make them on a stick. The other thing I've done, once you dip them in the chocolate, you can drop them in these little mini cupcake liners, and they fit nicely, and then they're cute. They look like that. Again, since it's just us, we're not going to do that either. So
I have a big one.
yes, that's huge. We are going to put our cake balls with the cake and the frosting on a lined cookie sheet. So you can do it with, that's huge, Ava. You can put it on there on parchment paper or tin foil because you just are going to need it to peel off nice and easy once it's frozen and after the chocolate goes on it. Hello, Isaac.
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac chimed in.
Isaac in my
Isaac Gallagher?
Ooh, nope, not Isaac Gallagher. He is an 8th grader. And he constantly asks me for cat cash, but he hasn't since we've been off school, so that's one thing I haven't missed.
No.
Alrighty, so go ahead and just roll up some of these cake balls. We're gonna make cake pops
How do you guys have so much
right
already?
here. I'm gonna help you guys with your cake. Drop it in there. Drop it. Friend, put it in there. I'm gonna mix it up better for you, okay? Alrighty, so this is what they've got going on. You see how all their cake is not mixed in? They might, no, they don't need more frosting. They just needed to mix it a little bit better. That's okay. Oh, she went and got the stuff this morning. You finally convinced her to get you the supplies you needed. That's awesome. Okay.
Who doesn't?
I gave them a little bit too much frosting, so since we've got cake left over, I'm going to add, go ahead. I'm going to add a little bit more cake to it.
Hang on. Where's the towel?
I don't know, right there.
Here.
Alrighty,
Can you get him?
got our cake balls being rolled up.
Erica, can you? Oh, well.
Yes.
You.
Alright, Ava's going to take over and keep
Hang on.
making our cake balls, and I'm going to help Bryn wash her hands. There you go. Wash your hands. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Go ahead and keep rolling away. One full cake pan will make, are you good? We'll make about 20 to 30 cake tops, depending on the size. Thank you. I think the kids will be back to help us with the decorating portion.
Where's Kellen?
I think Kellen went downstairs. You gonna come help us eat these when they're done? Awesome. Let's just keep rolling. Is it good cake? Yes.
I was gonna go back and eat the other cake, but then when I went back, they weren't there, so someone ate it.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was gone.
Alrighty, keep rolling those cake balls.
I need some cake balls.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, that's a pretty big one you got there.
Huge. Alrighty. You don't want to make them too big because once you melt your chocolate in a coffee mug, you have to be able to get the ball covered
Do we have to smush it?
and back out. Yep, go ahead and
Make it
smush it.
a little tinier.
You need a smaller cake ball. That's a whole big one.
Just one.
If you're making cake pops with kids, you might have to go back through and re-roll them if they're a little lumpy. Or it might not bother you to have them different sizes. So right now, ours are a few different sizes. Some of them are more circular than others, and that is totally okay because they're all going to taste amazing when they're done.
Ew.
Shh, don't tell Tyler.
I still got it.
Put it on your apron.
Still got it.
Ava found a hair, so she's trying to get that off of her fingers.
I think it's gone. My sleeves keep fine now. That's not.
Oh. Grab it with your teeth and roll it up. All right. Keep making these cake pops. I'm gonna throw this pan, I'm gonna stick it in the freezer real quick. You want them to cool down and harden a little bit. That way when we drop them in the melted chocolate, they don't completely fall apart on us. Oh, that's a good one, Bryn. Good job. All right.
Hawkins on here.
Oh, that's okay. Hawkins licking your toes.
Licking the cake.
We've got 2 dogs here today, too. All right.
You might have a tiny hand.
Alrighty. That's not gonna fit. We should have checked our freezer space before we got started. Here, hold that.
Would you like my towel?
Okay, we're gonna clean your towel up afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Alrighty. Okay, how are your cake pops coming, guys? Good? Maybe. We'll probably make some more with a time-lapse video too, so you guys can check that out afterwards. Yes, go ahead. They're really fun to make. They're just kind of a longer process than some of the other things we make because you've got to let them cool. I highly recommend taking the time, but they're very good. Good. Awesome. Do you have them in the freezer yet?
What are you doing?
Kellen's bringing all kinds of toys out from the basement right now. Are you guys keeping up with your homework today?
Are we doing that one?
Not today. You can roll those balls though. No, you're not? Yes. I just posted a couple, one big assignment for the rest of the week on Google Classroom for my 7th graders. Basically, I just want you to do something good for yourself, for your mental health. I want you to do something for someone else, which would be social health. Get out and get 20 to 30 minutes of activity every single day. That would be physical health. Sit them in the bowl. And then I had something else for emotional health. So, pretty straightforward. Kellen, will you let the dogs... Kellen, let Hawken outside.
Smokey.
Is he gonna stay here?
Kelly, you need to watch him. Watch Smokey.
And he's going into a bush.
Well, don't let the dogs run away. I think later today, I'll post some pictures. We might play some Just Dance on the Wii to get our activity in.
You will?
Yeah, why not? And then I have a whole bunch of board games over here too that they love playing, so we're gonna play some board games. And some card games. So we will definitely be active all throughout the day. Try to not spend all of your day on your devices. Get some no screen time. So, since our cookie tray is stuck in, yes? You need to put your coat on and your shoes back on, and then you can go outside.
You can do that.
I'm trying to make a basketball hoop taller than
Alright, we're going to put the rest of our cake pops in a bowl, so that way our first set can be in the freezer for a little bit, harden up, so that way we can...
Are we putting them all back on there? Like when it's different?
Yeah.
Or is
You've got to ask your questions louder so they can hear it too.
Oh.
She asked, once we dip them in chocolate, are we going to use the same tinfoil? And the answer is yes. So, if all of your cake balls are rolled up and in the freezer, go ahead and do your dishes right now. That way you clean up your counter space and you're ready to go for the next step. So, I think actually for the sake of time, we are going to set a 15-minute timer and then come back on for live. Otherwise, this is going to be the longest live ever. So check back in about 15 minutes. Get your cake pops into the freezer so they harden up a little bit. See you in a few. And we're back. We're gonna make some more cake pops. We cleaned up our workstation. Let me flip this around. Okay, we cleaned it up. We have some almond bark is what I like to use to cover the cake pops. Depending on the brand, it is like allergy friendly. I've got a friend and children that I've made cake pops with that have peanut allergies, and even though it's called almond bark, I've been able to find some that is peanut free, and you get, this huge chunk, and it tastes just like chocolate, and it melts really smooth and easy, and it tastes delicious, and you get so much more for your money. Or you can get like candy melting chocolate. This is just vanilla, but it's orange flavored. I got it on sale at the store. Super easy to melt. It comes in those little discs. It was after Halloween or something, which is why it was orange, but I figured why not. So what we are going to do is break up some of our almond bark and put it in some coffee mugs. And then on the back, there's some nice microwavable instructions. So welcome back, everybody. Go ahead and follow the directions on whatever chocolate you are using as to how to melt it. So these are my two new ones. I'm going to slide them out of the way because I have opened packages that we used the other day. So I am going to just break up, maybe not, my almond bark. I'm going to throw a couple chunks of white chocolate. That's going to go in the microwave. Mrs. Hannafeld, hello. All right, so that's going in the microwave. It says to microwave it to start out with for a minute, and then in 30 to 15 second increments. So that we've got melting in the microwave. I'm going to put you back on the stand here.
Did you put the vanilla or the chocolate?
I did the chocolate. So we're going with multiple flavors. Cake pops for all kinds of people. So we're going to throw some regular chocolate chunks or chocolate flavoring in the microwave too when the white chocolate's done. I think every type of melting chocolate is different. Like the almond bark says microwave on full power for 60 seconds, stir it thoroughly, and then heat in 15-second increments until it's smooth. So you don't want to burn chocolate. Burnt chocolate is like the worst smell ever. If you're using candy melts, they take a while, but let me see. You want to do at 50% power or a defrost setting for the 1 minute, and then in 30-second increments after that. Yeah. Ava is running back and forth with a spoon. Make sure you do not, I'll white it out. Make sure you do not microwave your chocolate with a metal spoon in the mug, because that would be a disaster. How are we doing?
You're
still big chunks?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have to go back and forth to the microwave a couple times.
How long should I put it in?
Do another 30 seconds. Yep, so ours is a minute at a time and then 15 to 30 seconds afterwards. The other thing I've noticed, like if we're dumping these big brick chunks of chocolate into our cup and then microwaving them, they might take a little bit more time. If you have a knife, you can kind of shave off the chocolate or break up the chunks so it's smaller pieces and it melts a little quicker. I don't know that it makes a huge difference. So right now we're just gonna use the big chunks. So we've got our sprinkles. Again, I am all about saving money. So I buy mine on sale, like at Walmart or something, right after a holiday. So like Easter a couple years ago, so I've got these little Easter egg candies, and they're all like pastel colors and things. This one's not even open yet, but it's pink and green sprinkles. The sprinkles are optional. You can decorate cake pops as much or as little as you want. You can just frost them, the cake and the frosting, and then cover them with chocolate. Or you could decorate them to become actual things. Hello, Mrs. Church. Wow, these teachers are chiming in too. It's so exciting. We're popular. So I've seen really cool decorated cake pops. They can make them look like unicorns and little like chickies for Easter time or springtime. I do not get that fancy. The most I've done is like nicely placed sprinkles or the big sprinkle candies to make like smiley faces and stuff. So let's go ahead and see how Ava's doing over here.
It's so hot. I got the hot one again.
Oh, the hot mug.
Like burnt. It's very good.
So if we look in here, oh, that's so smooth. Alrighty, go ahead and bring it over to the counter. Whoops. All right, Ava's gonna take over. Again, hang on, I've got to, this is my awesome selfie tower stick on our setup today, which is completely crazy because I can't reach it. I'm on like my tippy toes to try and get this thing off the countertop. I'm gonna flip it around again. Hopefully the trick here is for you to be able to see what we're doing is kind of tough. I am clearly not an Instagram professional or a professional vlogger. So, alrighty. We've got some chocolate in here. If you're using only one kind of chocolate, you might want more than this. But our mug, she's right, our mug got really, really hot. So I am going to go over to the freezer and get our cake balls out of the freezer. Oh yes, they don't have to be frozen solid, but they will definitely go into the melted chocolate much, much better. So I'm going to scoot them off to the side because we are going to dunk them in the chocolate, get them all covered, and put them right back on this pan. That way we're, again, not making a whole bunch of dirty dishes. So the other thing, if you are decorating your cake pops, you want to do it right away when the chocolate is still melted. So that way, I don't know, it sticks. The sprinkles can stick. So I'm going to drop one of these bad boys in there, try and show you what I do. So with a spoon, I twirl the ball around in the chocolate, pull it out, shake off some of the extra because otherwise you're going to have chunks and chunks of chocolate. You can scrape the bottom of your spoon off with the edge of the cup and try and neatly stick the ball back on the tin foil. Awesome. So we're going to, yep, go ahead, sprinkle me. Awesome. So, I mean, that's essentially it. We're going to drop these cake balls onto the, we'll keep mixing it. Because the cake balls themselves are pretty cold and you're dropping them into melted hot chocolate, the chocolate is going to cool pretty quick, more so than if you just dropped a dollop of melted chocolate on a tray. It's going to cool faster than that because it's cooling from the air temperature outside, but also the cold cake ball underneath it. So you can't eat them yet. They're not ready. The dads are getting impatient. Well, we are going to continue to dunk these cake balls, and we're going to need definitely a lot more chocolate because we are making 2 cake pans worth of cake balls. I will go ahead and post some pictures when we're all done of our finished products and our quarantine enjoying them. So when you guys are done with your cake pops or even the process while you're making them, go ahead and send us some pictures too so we can see your awesome creations. So we will see you guys later. Can't wait to eat these delicious cake pops.